It is the All Things TechIE podcast, episode 3. We're up to 3. Yeah, we thought we would give up on this, Simon, after episode 1.
Now, since we got so popular in Australia, that kept us going.
We love you, Australia.
Yeah.
You're awesome. You're awesome. We're going to get into other charts as well, hopefully.
No, it'd be nice to break America.
Actually,
Since we're about Ireland, maybe break Ireland.
Yeah, break Ireland. Yeah, well, we are following up on AV Magazine doing some articles on us, and AV Tech Europe doing some articles on us. Before we start and go in with the theme music, I want to thank people for nominating me once more into the AV Awards. I'm in the finals again.
So black tie again.
Black tie again.
Red carpet.
Red carpet. Maybe no Kieran this time, unfortunately. Wine and dined. But I better actually take Jen for one episode. Shall we hit into the program?
Go for it.
All Things TechIE podcast, brought to you by two tech junkies, Justin Dawson and Simon Lang. For more, visit www.allthingstech.ie for All Things TechIE.
We are also actually playing around with doing live streaming of our program and doing it as a video on YouTube as well. So where you can see our ugly mugs.
That's not good.
It's great fun.
I think our rating is going to drop now.
Yes, but everyone wonders what we do, and what we do is we get into a room and we talk tech, and we lock ourselves in the room until we talked enough tech.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Or the tea runs out.
Or the tea runs out. Well, you didn't want tea, you wanted water today. Okay, so we're feeding Simon water and some bread until he talks and gives us all his opinions on tech. Coming up in the program, I see moving to Barcelona.
Ooh, I can start working on my tan now.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the thing. This is the interesting point that some of our listeners said that it was a given that it was going to move to Germany.
No. Because I think Germany, or somewhere in Germany, they have one of the biggest exhibition centres in Europe or the world. But I've been looking at the floor plans of this place, Fife, is that how you pronounce it? The new place.
Yes, we will confirm the name of this new place.
Oh my goodness! Floor, it takes what we get in Amsterdam and multiplies it by 4. Yeah. And that's how much floor space they got.
Yeah,
There's travelators. There's actually flat travelators, like at the airport.
Can it not be like the Gladiator travelators?
No.
And add some VR into it. Talking about VR, we are going to be talking about VR and theme rides with virtual reality. Bit creepy. We're going to be talking about that as well, okay. Right? Also, we have the 3 A's: Apple, Amazon, and Android. And we're going to be talking about how they have revolutionised the TV market. Okay. Yeah. We're going to tell you how a Chromecast works. We're going to talk about the Amazon Fire Stick or Cube, the Mi Box, Apple TV, Now TV in Ireland, and just streaming. I think it's just taking away the whole idea of you do not need a satellite dish anymore.
I think you see a lot of articles in the States and they call it cutting the cord.
Yes, cutting the cord. That's a good way of putting it. So, Servio even.
Which is Irish television.
Irish television, yes. We're going to be talking about home smart alarms. Would you or wouldn't you get a home smart alarm?
Okay.
And if you want to get in contact with the program, as usual, allthingstech.ie. That's allthingstech.ie for All Things TechIE. You can tweet Simon as he tries to remember his tweet handle.
I think it's Simon Lang 26.
No, it's Simon Lang AV. Simon Lang AV. Take 2. So if you want to tweet Simon, who doesn't look at his Twitter feed, obviously, listeners, it is
Simon Lang AV.
Or you can come onto my Twitter and I will actually respond to you. It is at Justin or Dawson, or our hashtag is All Things TechIE for All Things TechIE.
Join us on the journey to 2021. Integrated Systems Europe in Barcelona. Ever growing, never static.
The
The audiovisual and electronic systems industry is one of the world's most dynamic. Day by day, new opportunities are emerging with a need for new solutions. Solutions for better innovations, better technologies, better systems, and better connections. On a global stage, providing more modernity, sustainability, accessibility, and more space. Where partners can thrive and grow together with us for years to come in an environment that matches their same core values. Join us on the journey to 2021. Integrated Systems Europe in Barcelona.
The first time I went to Amsterdam, I said to Jen, I'm going away to Amsterdam for a few days. It's for work purposes. And she laughed. And I said, no, really, it is for work purposes. And to be honest, I haven't actually set foot inside Amsterdam properly.
No. In the I've been there 2 years with you, so we have never gone sightseeing.
We never have gone sightseeing.
We've seen the canals, and we rushed to our hotel.
And we rushed back to the hotel. Or the time that we walked to the AV Tech Europe Awards and back.
Yeah, that was the closest we got to seeing Amsterdam itself.
Yeah.
And I actually have never been there, not ISE. You know what I mean? Like as a holiday.
I've been there once, years and years back. And did I go... I went into the town to just experience it and all the magic that is Amsterdam. But... haven't done the adult tours of Amsterdam, and even to the stage of where they did the projection mapping last year at ISE. I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, so I think if we're going next year,
yes,
we have to do boat rides.
A few boat rides. We're looking for sponsorship for All Things TechIE to go on some boat rides,
or we could even get a bicycle and cycle a bit, or whatever.
Hey, speak for yourself, Simon.
After all that walking around ISE, do you really want to cycle? That's a good point.
Well, yeah. Or we can put on virtual reality headsets and cycle at the same time.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
That could be a bit dangerous. Talking of virtual reality, Simon, and headsets, water park in Germany has a new claim to fame: a water slide that outfits guests with a VR headset. Dubbed the VR Slide, the system includes a water-resistant VR headset powered by Samsung Galaxy S8, there's a plug for Samsung, for a deep dive into waters of the digital unknown. I like water slides. Do I want to wear a headset while going down a water slide, or do I just want to experience a high water slide myself? Like I was over in theme parks in America where literally you had to, as a male, you had to cross your legs because the gush of water that could go up your swim shorts. And I mean, like, you could come out with a serious wedgie afterwards. I'm not joking.
I'm not a fan of water slides, not a fan of theme parks as such. So I have only been to Alton Towers. So that's the closest I've ever been to them. So VR version. I can understand maybe.
What? But no, what on water, though?
The water one, I'm not so sure. Do you know some of the ones where you're in the seat and they might tilt you up where you're lying looking at the ground?
And goes
a VR set, and maybe you're Superman.
Do you remember your old simulation things where you'd step into this big box on a hydraulics? I was like, no. And as a kid, you thought this is the best thing ever. It's wearing goggles. I still think VR is gimmicky. I still think VR is gimmicky. That's my opinion on it.
I have a brother-in-law. I have many brother-in-laws, but I have a brother-in-law who is mad into VR. So he has it set up in his home,
right?
And he has these they're like camera tripods in the four corners of the room, and he wears his headset and his gloves as well to go with it and stuff like that.
So it's sort of like taking a next step from the Nintendo Wii and going with it.
And he has his goggles on, and then he can participate. And he says they're usually fighting sword games or shooting army kind of games.
So don't walk into the room while he's playing this.
So basically, you stand in the middle of the room and there's no furniture for you to fall over. And he says you can get down the ground and crawl around, and you can duck and dive bullets and stuff like that. And so,
but do you know what? there is some good to VR. Of course, there's some good to everything, but there's some good to VR. If you're, but on a theme park adventure area, adventure playground, the best one I've seen is in America. There's these warehouses that are just kitted out with foam obstacles, but it would remind you when you're wearing the VR headset of playing something like Tomb Raider or Lara Croft, where you're jumping over what is only like a 2 meter gap built of foam, but while wearing the headset, and the helmets, it makes it look like you're jumping a cliff.
Is it nearly like where we're junkies in the sense of
Well, we are tech junkies.
in the sense of that people no longer like playing a shooting game with a gun that pretends to shoot was the first step. Then you're now putting it into where you're getting real interactive with your friends down the road, and then all of a sudden now you're putting on a headset where you're just trying to increase the level of adrenaline that you're going to get from playing the game. I don't know. Is it like just the next level of someone wanting to experience something, a high?
It's an immersive experience, as a big I would call it. But even going with that and streaming, did you see that Microsoft's Xbox, the latest one, is now going to now given the ability that all your games will be streamed for other people to watch. Call me old, I just don't understand this. Like, we talked about this before. We talked about kids watching other kids even play with Lego when it's on YouTube and it's getting hundreds of thousands of hits.
Versus you taking out the Lego and playing with yourself.
Yeah, and then with computer games, people watch other people gaming to find out tips.
Like, I can understand sometimes, but like sometimes you're playing a simulation game which could be 4 hours long. Yeah. They'll sit and watch the whole 4 hours. Where if I was looking for a tip to get past a certain thing or a certain baddie,
you Google even the old Super Mario. I remember when this is going back, listeners, when you used to be able to buy a Nintendo or PlayStation or Sega Master Drive or Mega Drive magazine on week by week or monthly basis, and it would give you the cheats to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
This is going way past this.
So Sonic the Hedgehog is probably so tiny in how amazing it is now.
Yes.
For kids.
The old 16-bit graphics.
Where now they're looking for HD full 1080p or
at least.
Or 4K, so that's probably what's the next thing. The games will need to be 4K, but saying that, if you're playing a game, you're often close to the screen.
But if it's streaming, if it's streaming with the Xbox, now we're reading the fact that it's streaming games. Maybe it's streaming games the opposite way, where you buy into a game, you don't need
the game on your machine.
Yeah, and then you go. It has. All these houses got fast enough connection for these type of things.
So I can imagine having a war game, where I think you already can do that, where you're playing a game and you're part of a platoon, an army platoon, which could be hundreds of army characters, and they're all over the world. So your platoon is just being streamed from a central place, and you're just a character in the game.
I'm just trying to find the link. We'll come back to the link. We'll put all our links are going to be on our show notes, listeners. All Things TechIE for
so
All Things Tech.
VR.
VR, yeah. What do you like the idea of like?
Do you know where I saw the VR when I was at ISE, and I quite liked it. It was actually in a production environment where they were looking at, say, a car.
Yes.
Or a piece of machinery. If you're designing something really complex, that you're able to put the headset on and pick up the piece and flip it and turn it before it's even built.
But I still think it's the novelty, and it still goes back to the 3D glasses.
Or even the Google glasses.
Or the Google glasses. People don't like wearing these devices. It's too, even if you say it's waterproof or whatever, it's too bulky. And that's where I think it's going down the augmented reality route, where if you can actually physically make it pop out And you've seen a lot of that at ISE, and Infocom is coming on with it. That's the way things are going to start progressing.
Imagine you getting on the train or the bus and there's a person on the seat with a set of VR goggles on.
Yeah.
Would you think they're really weird looking?
Yeah.
You wouldn't sit beside them.
No.
So, but you do one. So I think they're, like you say, it's a kind of a novelty, or there's certain situations they're perfect for, and others they just won't work.
Gonna put it up on our show notes, but there is yet the prices for this is one of the websites that we were reading. The prices for kinds of VR headsets has still to come down if companies want to try them, let alone repeat customers. Typically they cost $1.50 to $2 per minute to, I guess, play these games, is it?
Yeah, there's play for like the Jurassic Park ride. It says,
yeah,
for example, that's one for a few minutes. But the other side, people are paying €5 and €10, dollars to go on a ride anyway. So this is just another few euro on top of that. So,
and yeah, they have to have different size headsets for kids. And where does the health and safety come into this? You know, they're going down a water chute and probably going to flip and go into a plunge pool at the bottom, and they're wearing a headset. They're not a good swimmer. That's another thing. We'll come back to that. What do you think, listeners? Let us know. You can tweet Simon at
Simon Lang AV.
Simon Lang AV. He's learned his tweet handle again. Or you can contact us at allthingstech.ie, or myself, Justin or Dawson. Now, moving on from that, we're going to go into Lenovo's new Smart Display 10-inch review. They've created a kitchen assistant. It's touchscreen. It looks like an iPad. It looks like, actually, we were talking about the Crestron Mercury, the way it sits on the table. It has sort of a speaker on the left-hand side. We'll put up some photos on our show notes. Responds quickly to touch and voice commands. Is this going to be the new thing in home
if you're someone
environment?
who say watches stuff on your tablet while you're cooking, or you're watching an episode of your soap while the dinner's being made, or while you're baking and stuff like that, I think this is perfect for them people.
Yes, yeah.
I personally don't see a need for it in my house, but I can understand it if you look at if you're that type of person who's all the time in the kitchen doing stuff.
Yes.
The fact, and then its voice activation might link into stuff where you're watching something and you might want to look up something, or you want them to ask, can you tell me what's in my schedule for this weekend, or whatever the case.
Not bad prices though, Simon. They're retailing or recommend a retail price of $250, which, you know, if you were to buy a TV or some type of tablet, and
they're around that price anyway.
Yeah, they're around that price anyways. We're going to put some show notes on our show notes. We'll have the link to this. Lenovo Smart Display performs tasks exceedingly well, and everything else well enough. It deserves a consideration, is the review from it. Moving on, we did speak about Xbox streaming games. Yes, we have talked about that. Galaxy. Now, mobile phones, there's been so much talk and so much hype about Apple versus Samsung, court cases against Apple versus Samsung. You just found out that the next thing that's going to happen with mobile phones is they're going to be foldable.
Yeah, so this seems to be, there's a couple of companies with patents
Yeah.
for this. So we went from a phase where we had tiny screens on our phones, and they started getting bigger and bigger. Then they wanted to start making them smaller. On
the pads. Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden we're going bigger again, because hence like the iPhone Pluses and all those ones have come out. So now what they're saying is, by making a foldable screen, you can nearly have a tablet size in your pocket, but when you're carrying it around, it's the size of a mobile phone. So,
and I'm demonstrating this for the camera if you're watching us on YouTube. So some of them are actually going to fold
like a book.
And then I have seen a prototype which looked crazy, which was it would fold 3 times, like overlap.
Like nearly a
a wallet, yeah, or a
leaflet
leaflet, or an
as well.
A3 leaflet, yeah.
So this way you have a lot of screen space, but in a small pocket space.
Isn't the latest rumor is that Samsung are just gone, no, this is total rumor mill.
Because Samsung were also working on the bendable screen.
But wasn't Samsung having serious difficulty with phones exploding in their last? Do they want to try and make something bendable that's going to catch fire? Or let's not just blame Samsung on that. Does any mobile company want to make something that could easily catch fire with components bending? If you're physically bending stuff, technology isn't meant to bend.
No, but I think Apple are.
Yeah.
I think the patent Apple have is for a foldable. So I think if anyone is to do one, they will.
They will.
But will it work is the question. If you think about it, a phone, it is solid enough in a rectangle shape, but if you have folds in it, it's giving it actually a weak point.
Imagine you had your mobile phone. Again, for listeners, holding up Simon's phone because it was the nearest one. Imagine you had the microphone on one side and you're trying to talk to it voice activated, and it's like, sorry, I didn't understand that. Your phone is bent too much. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but then I always think, like in the case of I have my phone like this is now I got double the size phone space for. I think it'd be brilliant for people in business.
Yes.
Because you have a bigger phone, so if you're reading your emails, you have more space, or you can have two things at the same time.
Very true.
Like Apple has now on the iPad where you can have two applications open side by side, like you do at your PC. So imagine any phone being able to do that, or it works fine like on a normal. But then if you have something you want to see more of, that you can open it up and you have a bigger screen. Don't know.
Now, that's one thing that's coming out. BlackBerry, are they coming back into the market? There is talks of the BlackBerry. Everyone thought BlackBerry was gone, dead, but
didn't they come out with a version of the phone that still has a full quirky keyboard? But I think
it does have a full quirky keyboard.
It's an Android.
The BlackBerry Key
system.
2 review, a throwback in the best way. At first, last year's BlackBerry Key 1 seemed like another reminder of the brand's downfall. While not the first BlackBerry phone to run Android, the Key 1 was built by another phone maker altogether, China's TCL, which makes Alcatel phones and now builds BlackBerry devices as well. It has a hard keyboard.
So a standard keyboard.
Yeah. Would you want to go back that route?
No. Like I don't know who it's targeted at, because I think if business people, I don't think people in business would even want this.
Not only with the keyboards, do people use stylus on mobile devices? Or even if you had a foldable Samsung or Apple phone in the future, do people need stylus with them? Usually people use their fingers.
Yeah. And I think if phones got better at recognizing your nail,
yes,
people would even write more accurately, because I think your fingertip is too chubby to be accurate. Where if it recognizes your nail, you'd be a lot more accurate.
Again, listeners, and I feel like a total grunt this month, I think the whole idea of foldable phones, it's gimmicky. I
don't know. There's a novelty to it.
It's sort of like, what can we do next? Unless we put a drone on a phone and make it fly.
Now,
patent pending, listeners. Patent pending.
I know I'm going on a slight tangent here for a second, but for example, 5G is being tested at the moment, which is the next level of data connection.
Yeah.
See, I'd be more interested in
speed
than a foldable phone. Now I'd be interested in having proper 4G everywhere in Ireland. Don't mind 5G. But imagine if 5G is meant to be 4 or 5 times faster than 4G, you would have no problem with buffering and watching Netflix.
That and processors. Do you know what? This is sort of an off-tangent discussion. I was helping a neighbour with their computer recently, and they had the original Apple MacBook, right? And they had loads of photos that they wanted to take off their computer of their kids. So I plugged in the USB. It took 5 hours to copy it onto USB. Copied all the photos over. I brought that USB to the latest Apple Mac and plugged it in. It took 5 minutes. the processor in the original, your mobile phones would be faster now than...
That's crazy.
That's how quickly things are changing.
Now you think about when we were in college, our projects were saved on floppy disks, which were...
Speak for yourself, Simon.
Okay, when I was in college, we used floppy disks. And
we did use floppy disks.
And they were what, 1.6 megabytes?
Yes.
Now we talk in terabytes in USB keys.
I think I seen one recently on maybe Amazon's sale, but it was 6 terabytes for nearly $150.
In a USB key?
In an external hard drive.
An external hard drive. Where I've seen nearly a terabyte in a USB key.
Yeah.
So it's going to get to the point where memory is just going to keep going up and up and up and up. We're going to start. I don't know what comes after Tera.
What does come after Terra? We'll have to Google that.
Yeah.
Or we can't show favoritism to an internet browser, which brings me nicely onto the next topic. So you swear that I had this just all planned out. It's a whim that we do these programs. It's a total whim. Firefox. You've heard of the Firefox browser.
Yes.
Again, it's sort of like BlackBerry in my view. They're always behind in their
if you want
scheduling.
if it's kind of one of those nearly like if you want to do something that you don't want to be on Internet Explorer or dropping names or Chrome
or Edge. Sorry.
That doesn't exist in my head.
It's just too problematic. Sorry,
Safari,
Microsoft.
Or Safari.
Yes.
So what's left really is Firefox. And Firefox has a great name out there.
What's the other one? Go if you don't want to keep your cookies. Go Duck Go.
Don't know. Never even heard of that one.
DuckDuckGo. Is it DuckDuckGo? Let me just Google that while you're talking away. DuckDuckGo.
Because I was thinking there's another one. But the other side, I think Firefox was really the first browser before Chrome. If you know what I mean, there was either you had IE.
I'm saying Firefox was open source.
Yes. So
yes.
Firefox is open source, and I think probably some of the foundations of Chrome have come from Firefox.
Yes, absolutely.
And then
of course this Chrome is Google, which has plenty of money behind it. But Firefox is making a voice-controlled web browser called Scout. And you say, yeah, that's nice, but you still need to put it on some hardware.
Voice-controlled browser. Do we not? Is Chrome or Google Assistant classes a voice-controlled browser now?
I would consider it, yeah.
Or Siri.
Yeah.
So there's
Mozilla, who own Firefox, the organisation behind Firefox is exploring a very different web browser called Scout that is operated by voice rather than keyboard, mouse, or touch taps. Of course, non-profit Mozilla revealed Scout as the project in an agenda for an all-hands meeting taking place this week in San Francisco. With the Scout app, we are able to explore browsing and consuming content with voice. Maybe it's good for people with disabilities.
It's a great idea.
It's a great idea for people with disabilities. Voice control over electronic devices, once a sci-fi idea, is increasingly common as we talk to our digital doodads to make calendar appointments, dictate messages, and search for TV shows. Which brings us nicely on in a couple of minutes to our 3As. But yes, just going back to it, DuckDuckGo, people want their privacy. People don't like this whole idea of being traced on Google Chrome and giving their location settings and so forth. DuckDuckGo is not anything like the dark web or anything like that. It's just keeping you private. And apparently becoming very popular. But it also it actually acts as an add-in to Google Chrome. So
I've never heard of it.
This was hilarious. Alexa never speaks unless spoken to, and most of these home devices, as we were talking in our last episode, Simon, they listen all the time until they're spoken to. And I only had last night actually watching a movie or watching something on TV with Jen, where it actually did start playing music in the background. I was like, hello. Yeah, and it's in the other room.
Now, in my case, my home mini is right in front of my TV. So it's happened loads of times for us.
Yeah.
But it usually has to have OK Google first. So you do wonder how that it does pick it up.
A San Francisco man says Amazon Alexa gave him a very creepy experience when out of the blue, his Amazon Echo told him that, quote unquote, every time I close my eyes, all I see is people dying. That would scare the crap out of me if...
That's scare the crap out of anyone if that
Yeah.
happens, so...
Alexa's never speaks unless spoken to, and Kinnear claims he didn't use anything to rouse the voice assistant. He reportedly asked Alexa to repeat the statement, and Alexa told him that they did not understand. Usually when you say, can you repeat that, it will repeat apparently on Alexa. And the only thing that they can think of is Alexa, turns out the name of the song title, every time I close my eyes, all I see is people dying by digital reality. The only thing that they can think of is if someone else in the house was listening to some songs and what song is next in a playlist. Is the only way they can describe.
That is really scary.
It is scary.
But I would love to work out why it did it, but hey.
Yeah, well, so we're going to go on and talk about TVs, cutting the cord, as you said, Simon.
Streaming boxes.
Streaming boxes. Now, what is your recommendations if someone says, I want to watch TV or want to watch movies or want to watch box sets? There is the legal and the illegal aspects, listeners, and of course the illegal aspect is the Android boxes, where people are finding paid subscriptions left, right and centre, putting on devices like Kodi. Kodi are coming back in several court cases and saying, not us, because we're just pretty much an operating system.
Yeah, a media player.
A media player.
And basically, people are, whatever they want to put on it, that's their choice.
That's their choice. And that's why they're available in most electronic retail stores.
So I guess if someone asked me what one to use, I would actually first find out what phones they use.
Right.
So if you're a house of all Apple iPhones and iPads and MacBooks,
You stick with the Orchard and go Apple.
Yes, I will go with your Apple TV.
Yeah.
Because what's the point? Because if you have a paid iTunes subscription, which gives you Apple TV stuff and movies and all like that, why would you bother going to something else?
Yeah.
Then if you're an Android house, I'd probably push you towards an Android related one or an Amazon one.
Right.
So, but then I guess it comes down to what your subscriptions are. Like in the case of you have a subscription for Google Play or Google Movies, then you go with an Android box.
Yeah.
If you have an iTunes Prime account, you'd probably go with an Amazon one.
Is this the future of TV? I like. Do you know what? You sort of think back and go, things that were gimmicks with TVs, 3D TVs, never caught on. Bendable TVs, well, it's just like the bendy phone. I don't think it's a good idea.
What was the tagline? You can view it from any side of the room.
But looking at ISE, like they're now making flat screens where you can view from
Any angle.
any angle of the room.
Yeah. So
Using the discus model from Mavixa. Discus model. Yes, sorry. Throw that in. Distance of screens and the size of screens. Yes. Proper AV standards there.
okay. So then there's tons of options I get, but like Android phones, there's tons of Android boxes to go with.
So
The
we're going to put loads of these up on the show notes. Amazon Fire TV Cube.
So that's where I suppose this whole conversation started.
Lets you control power, input switching and volume on your TV. This is something I like. New out from Amazon. And why I like it is with the Chromecast, you can't, Google's Chromecast, even the 4K model, you say turn on TV to the Google Home or whatever, it turns on the TV. You can't change source.
So so it's not properly controlling. It's only just.
I don't know, can the Alexa though?
I think all of them can kind of
Turn
play,
on.
turn on the TV but it's more like turn on the TV because there's
And it's set to that input.
Because it's that input that's turning it on. But can it actually change input? So can you go turn on TV and switch to DVD player and start playing DVD that is in the DVD player?
No. And these are the things that it's. How can I describe this properly, listeners? I always think that whether it be Apple, Amazon, Google, they come out with new devices, and to me, maybe it's just a tech junkie inside me, but it's finding the end user experience and just go, these are the obvious things. And we're going to be getting into this more, not just with TVs, but if I buy a Chromecast, I want to be able to talk to it and make it work the same way, or any type of smart device. I want to be able to talk to it and say, change channel, change to Sky 1, change to BBC, change to RTE Radio 1 or RTE 1 if we're going to name Irish TV channels. It can't do it.
No, because it can't control your Skybox or your whatever company
Now,
you use.
this, like Sky
Or-
have a really nice new box, the Sky Cube, I think it's called as well, where once you have the full premium Sky package, you can talk to your remote and say, play the movie with Tom Hanks in it, and they'll give you all the movies with Tom Hanks in it or whatever. So I think that feature is really awesome.
But then we're talking about
Changing
cutting
channels.
the cord.
Yeah,
That
and
means you'll be cutting the cord to Sky
yes,
as well, which is
but I
provider.
honestly believe that satellite dishes in the next 5 years will be obsolete. You don't need them.
Yeah, or what will happen now? I don't. So in the last 10 years I've been in my house, we have never had a paid subscription TV service.
Yeah.
So we live on YouTube, Netflix, and
But even if you were going premium with Sky and paying Sky subscription, it's getting down the route that everything's going over in Ethernet cable.
see, because for example, so my internet's provided by Virgin.
Yes.
I keep asking the question when Virgin do these surveys, can you not have a version of your subscription service where you can have TV as a stream service, not where I have to have a box? So if you have a box, like a Horizon box, you can watch it on an app.
Yes.
But if you don't have a TV box, you can't watch it on the app. Where I'm saying, I want to have a TV subscription, but
That
only
you
a
can use.
streaming subscription.
Yeah.
Not a where it requires me to have
Absolutely.
a TV
But
box.
this new Amazon Cube is hitting into some of the areas that we're looking at hardware wise, where you can just talk to it and say, change channel, volume up, volume down. Most of the devices just allow volume up, volume down, pause, rewind, play. Google links, my Google Home links in with Netflix mostly, or the Chromecast will display anything that you ask it to beam to the TV.
Because I recently saw, and I mentioned to you, was JBL and Google have a soundbar.
Yes.
So I was the other day in the shop and I noticed now they have a whole range of products which are like speaker pods which have built-in Google Assistant.
Right.
So you could have a soundbar which is made by JBL connected to your TV which has Google Assistant built into it, so you don't need your Google Home or your Google Mini to talk to it. So I don't know where this is going, so I haven't researched that, but there's an example where we got a speaker manufacturer integration with a Google product. Or now you can actually get TVs with Google built into it, Google Assistant.
What
built
I
into
like
it.
about the whole idea of being able to change sources is, let's take this into a company profile. Once you start being able to activate a source by your voice, one HDMI source can be the webcam, one HDMI source can be your laptop.
And your third one could be actually your paid TV service.
The only problem is, how many voices can these things detect? Well, you look at Google Home and just go, anyone in the home can talk to it.
I think, doesn't it have to learn, but I guess if it's in a company, it takes anyone's voice, which can also be anyone's dialect.
Yes.
So you think about you in a company of thousands of people, you could have people from any country. So it's a real example of its ability to understand, say, someone from Russia
and learn,
and someone from Africa, then someone from America and someone from England or Scotland, as that funny video goes. And I've been trying to understand all these languages, and you just go, I want to present, and it goes, oh, input 2 is the presenting one. Show.
It sounds like simple logic. Amazon seems to be doing it. Apple haven't really caught on with this voice activation.
No,
I don't think
they have their HomePod coming out,
right,
and they have Siri, but it still hasn't really kind of jumped like Google has or Alexa. They haven't really plugged into that. Yeah.
Now going back to the Serview or the channels, Serview, which is our Irish company, and pretty much the Freeview channels. Once upon a time, you needed to connect your coaxial cable to the back of it and get the channels through. It's getting to the stage now where you don't even need the TV area coming into your house. It's getting to the stage where it's all going over Ethernet.
That sounds brilliant for someone like me who doesn't have a TV.
Now, they have come out with a new Serview box, which is internet and TV cable ready. I don't know, is it got to the stage where you can just plug out the TV cable and it's going to run over the internet? But you would hope down the line with broadcasting commissions and so forth, that if that's the case, can we not start getting free to air European channels like in the UK, like the BBCs, the UTVs, the ITVs, over
free instead of using satellite? That would be brilliant.
And that's where I think that satellite's a thing in the past.
Yeah, so the technology, because the internet can move at such faster speed than a satellite signal.
Yeah,
and also doesn't cost as much.
Now, so that's the two. Apple, the Mi box. Do you know the Mi or the My? Mi, My, tomato.
Okay, so this is Chinese-based company.
Right.
So they're one of the largest technology manufacturers
the Chromecast and Amazon
in China. So they have tons of phones, tablets.
How do they get permission to combine the Chromecast and the Amazon Fire Stick in one? Interesting.
I don't know. I guess not. See, Amazon is based on an altered Android OS.
Okay.
So, and of course, Android is Android OS. So I guess by taking the bits of both of them, you can make them into the same device.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I think. But they're a massive competitor out definitely in the direction of China, but they're seeing a very popular brand here. I've actually even seen mobile phone shops selling their versions of the phones now here in Ireland. So it's a brand that's going to definitely come because it's a cheaper brand, but doesn't mean it's cheaper in quality.
Cheaper in quality, yeah. Let us know what you think. If you were, I'm just going to give out our Twitter handle again. All Things TechIE is the hashtag. You can visit our website www.allthingstech.ie for All Things TechIE, where you will find the show notes of all our programs. We are trying this out for the first time with placing it up on YouTube and seeing does people like to see the visuals as well, that we can sort of add in pictures of what things we are talking about. Yeah. But if you were to buy one and had unlimited money, Simon, what would you do?
I would be buying an Android one. So
I think Android just gives it. Again, it's down to the fact that Apple is too locked down.
Yeah.
You can do more with an Android box.
And see, my only problem with Android is so I have an actual Google Nexus TV box.
Okay.
So I have an official Google product, where there's lots of other companies making Android boxes out there.
ZoomTac being a very popular one. You do have the NVIDIA Shield. NVIDIA Shield is very gaming. Yeah. Very gaming. But you can do...
Or Roku.
Yes, yeah. Another one.
So the thing about is every year when I watch Google's I/O conference, I'm always disappointed that there's nothing about their TV side. they do so little development in TV OS equivalent. So sorry, TV OS I think is Apple's name for it, but in the sense of Android's version of TV development.
But Google could do so much more. Amazon, of course, have their channels, and
Their Prime
channels. Apple have their Apple. Well, they have Apple TV. They don't have channel. Amazon have their Prime, so they're ahead of things. I see where you're coming from. When is Apple? When is YouTube? Like YouTube have their streaming platform, and there is talks of YouTube starting to do their own sort of TV end of things.
Now, there's already there's because YouTube have a few TV series coming out.
Yeah,
under their paid subscription.
Like you think to yourself, when's Microsoft? When's all these gonna catch on?
I've never heard Microsoft doing a TV related box, but
yeah.
But I think Android Android is like your phones. There's so many flavors of them out there.
Yes.
But I often wonder, is Google not just going to do something for TV? Like, so YouTube have a TV developed app. So when you like you can get a mobile phone YouTube app, you can get a tablet YouTube app, you can now get a TV YouTube.
You see, YouTube are now offering a premium subscription to kill your ads while you're watching YouTube.
Or YouTube Music.
Or YouTube Music, yeah. Okay, would you be that interested in killing the adverts? Is this going to be? Is it?
I like YouTube for videos. I don't think I'd be listening to YouTube for my music. I like my Spotify.
Like the main thing that I think most residential people use YouTube for is they want to sit their child down to get an hour's piece, stick on YouTube Kids, which doesn't have adverts. I don't believe they are so far.
I don't think so. And if they do, they have to be related to the age category.
Age category, yes.
So, I don't know.
I did actually watch the first episode of Mia the bear. What's the bear's name? The little bear that
I know the show you mean.
Yes, because Rebecca watches it all the time. Yes. But we did watch that.
It's very good. It's only 2 seasons. I know every episode now.
Yes, yeah. And it's just like Paw Patrol. We only watched it to see do they rescue the baby turtles.
And then the funny part is, if you ever actually catch the bear one on YouTube, you sometimes get the original Russian version.
Yes.
And it's just so weird watching it now. That doesn't sound like her.
Talking of Russia, I love the way you just link in each part of it. We don't even plan it. So Trump and Putin meet, and everyone's like scratch their heads are going, this is going to be interesting, you know.
It's the reunion of the cronies.
It's the reunion of the cronies. Not that we have anything against Putin or Trump. If they want to sponsor the program, listeners, by all means, show us the money. So they meet and
exchange a football.
Because Russia had the World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Trump doesn't know a lot of things, but, you know...
his CIA buddies were probably going, what?
Yeah, is this actually football, right? And people were thinking, hold on a minute, if it's not a football, what else could this device be?
Because you said there's some technology already in a football from the World Cup.
Well, apparently so, Simon. Like, similar to your mobile phone and the Leap card, which is our transport system in Ireland, listeners, if you're listening over in Australia, because we love the Australians, they put us on iTunes podcast charts. We love you. So the NFC, where you can hold your card up to your phone, turn on the NFC on your... I think is it only Android? I'm not sure.
No, Apple has their own because it's used for Apple Pay and it's
Apple
used for
Pay,
Google Pay.
yeah.
So
okay, so you can hold up your phone, top up your Leap card, and away you go. Apparently, and it's I don't know what's on all World Cup footballs, but let's just have a read of this. Russian President Vladimir Putin offered a soccer ball or football to President Trump last week, and has said a course of warnings, some of them only half in jest, that the World Cup souvenir ball could be bugged. It turns out they weren't entirely wrong. Markings on the ball indicate that it contained a chip with a tiny antenna that transmits to nearby phones. But rather than a spy device, the chip is advertised featuring the Adidas AG ball. Photographs shows in Helsinki where Putin handed the ball to Trump show a board logo of the near-field communication tag. During manufacturing, the NFC chip, which is similar to what you top up your Leap cards with, is placed inside the ball under that logo, which resembles the icon for Wi-Fi signal according to Adidas website. The chip allows fans to access player videos, competitions and other content by bringing their mobile device closer to the ball. So that's the purpose of why Adidas put it on.
It was an advertisement.
It was an advertisement, so you tag it and you can see videos.
Okay.
Could it be hacked? This is the question. Could it be hacked? Could other stuff be put on that soccer ball? Adidas declined to comment on whether the chip could be a vector for a Russian hack. There's no suggestion that such balls or their chips have any security vulnerabilities. However, weirder things have happened.
Yes.
Such as Trump getting into government.
Yes, that. But because that's the thing. What's stopping the ball becoming a hotspot for getting into something else in the White House or some other building where, like, does it mean Trump was actually going to bring the football back and push it into the Oval Office? Probably not, but who knows where it could be put.
Let us know what you think, listeners. It just shows you how small technology can get. But has it a microphone and a listening device in it? The chip is the same technology used in some contactless payments, including Apple Pay and Google Pay, as we mentioned. In theory, such tags can be programmed to initiate an attack on a phone, at least one hacker has shown. In 2015, Forbes reported that an engineer used an NFC chip to send nearby Android phone a request to open a link that, if the user agreed upon it, installed a malicious file that took over the phone. But this football isn't... Oh well, unless Trump wants to watch the videos of World Cup highlights.
I actually thought
from the football
when we first mentioned about the chip in the ball, I actually thought it was actually a way for FIFA to track what ball was used for what match in case there was an inquiry or something.
Like their virtual refereeing or whatever.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Or there was I was watching a TV show the other day. I think it was an Australian Aussie rules match, and during the live match, a circle ring surrounds the player who had the ball.
Absolutely. Live. And
then as they run, an arrow came out behind them telling them how far they had run and what speed they're running at during a match live.
That's crazy.
And I'm thinking, imagine that's the ball doing all that. So the ball, once you know where the ball is, you can track everything from it, as in where it is and how fast it's moving. So I thought maybe that's what the chip does.
It's nearly... I've seen sports kits just like the thermals that players wear, but it's built-in chips now that can measure their heart rate, pretty much totally recognise if this player is going to be fit.
For rugby.
For rugby as well.
All the rugby players, you see it on the back of their neck. It's a little box that sits there and it can track their location by GPS, where they are on the pitch. Because that's the one where you see at the end of even soccer matches now, they can go, X player did so many miles or kilometres in that match.
It's crazy. So, could it be hacked? I think it could.
So anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Let us know what you think. All Things TechIE is where you find these show notes. And sort of linking in with Russian hacking and Facebook. Facebook lost $100 billion in one day. The social network has faced litany of controversies this year: election meddling by the Russians, data misuse and fake news. The platform has been accused of helping violence spread in Myanmar, India, Sri Lanka, and CEO Mark Zuckerberg has defended Holocaust deniers. But amid controversy, Facebook, the public company and business, seems unscathed. Quarter after quarter, Facebook handily beats sales and profits estimates by Wall Street analysts. That changed on Wednesday last week when Facebook missed revenue estimates, offered a weak sales forecast and the future quarters, and reported a decline of users in Europe. On Thursday, shares opened down 18%, wiping more than $100 billion off its market value. But Zuckerberg goes unscathed, as this is a small change to the Facebook industry.
But then I guess if it dropped 100 billion, did it go back up 100 billion?
By the close of trading, Bloomberg declared that Facebook has suffered the largest stock market loss in value during a single day for any US company. It's a shock, but it's not a concerning part for Facebook in the long run. A loss of users, the whole reason of the network effect, and the reason Facebook can change advertisers so much as money, is what Facebook needs to overcome. And Facebook declined to comment. Some people are saying it could be related to the latest GDPR policies. I just think they've had litany after litany, including the latest Channel 4 documentary, which was behind the scenes in Facebook in Dublin, and unearthed that employees have a green, orange and red light system for videos with harmful content, and a lot of stuff gets left on or passed amongst the chain. They have ticketing systems to monitor videos that come in and get put on the platform, and some stuff has a good 30 plus days waiting list.
And then it's also probably based on a human decision.
It is based on a human decision.
So what could be seen as...
It sounds like they are grossly understaffed for such security measures.
Yeah, and no, that doesn't help. And because what could be offensive to you might not be offensive to me as well. So it's very...
Which is where Zuckerberg is up in breach with all this Holocaust material.
Interesting.
Is Facebook getting... No. We keep on talking about this every month. Is it... I think they honestly need to change the platform, and I think it's going to go down.
There's an actual business side of Facebook where companies have... I don't know if it's Facebook... a kind of Facebook service like G Suite.
Right.
For... Like there's a Facebook equivalent.
I think that I have to think of the name of that. Listeners, if you're listening in and you can tell us, please do so. I think it is sort of like this Spark, is it? It's team sharing type of ends of things, is what I've seen. I don't know. I think Facebook is going to get more litanies and more problems.
No, I also do.
They have to be regulated.
I don't go into Facebook half as much as I used to.
No.
And people younger than us are not even using it that much. They're on their Snapchat.
Maybe we should Facebook Live this program. So.
Ooh, that's a scary thought. But fun.
But fun.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with YouTube first, because we haven't really said anything bad about Google apart from the fact that we want some improvements with regards to the Google Home device and how it doesn't work with G Suite. Please sort it out, listeners. Or Google, please sort it out. Well, I'm a paying customer to your G Suite package. Please sort it out. Would you trust, Simon, a home security system, an alarm system that is controlled smartly? Smart device. Yes.
Because it's kind of like it talks about, in our article it talks about the Nest stuff anyway.
Yes.
So
Amazon have bought over a doorbell company called Ring. See, have you ever heard of Ring?
I have not heard of Ring, but I've seen similar products to what they do, like where it's all internet connected. Because I like the idea of the Nest stuff where you can control your heating system and your water and your all that remotely. So if I'm away, I can turn the heating on before I get home. But this is taking it to a whole new step. So this is like saying you don't even have to get out of your chair to see who's at the front door if you want to answer it.
Well, and this is the nice thing. Now, this article does go back to March, listeners. In March, Amazon Inc. bought the Californian-based company Ring. Ring is a video doorbell that connects to your Wi-Fi, connects to your home. But the lovely thing is, someone rings your doorbell like the postman, or it could be a closed quarter. If you are not there, it opens up the the app on your phone, and they can't see you, you can see them, and you can say, oh, just leave the parcel behind the door, or around the corner, or leave it in with my neighbour, or sorry, I have the kids in the bath at the moment, so I can't answer the doorbell. And you can talk back to them, and you can send them on their way.
Something struck me as you were telling me all of this. So it's all internet connected, Wi-Fi connected.
Yes.
What happens when either the power goes or the internet service goes down?
Smart devices.
Does your home security alarm stop working all of a sudden then?
Well, this is one of the questions that I have. Also, it goes to the whole idea of how susceptible is it to hacking. Last week, or in March, Ring got bought over. Ring gives Amazon another piece of the Alexa puzzle and a leg up on Google and Apple. Now, Google are coming out with their own doorbell that's available in the States, similar to the Ring.
Okay.
What sounds obvious, Simon, is what we just talked about. The doorbell rings. You can see on your mobile phone who it is at the door. Oh, it's my brother. Oh, it's my sister. Open the door. So it's only available on the mobile phone. I think, again, we're going back to this idea of logic. Okay, so Apple, I think, even with their mobile phones, here's the latest iPhone, but you can buy it in advance. But we're not going to tell you what the new features are. So create this hysteria of, oh, it must be great. Here's all the latest rumours. It bends.
Yeah.
And you buy it in advance so you can get it on the day that it's released. This same hysteria comes with new technology with regards to smart devices and Internet of Things. They bring out something, and what I consider and people might say, Justin, you're just a tech junkie, so therefore you think of all these things and you should be working for Apple or Google or so forth. But the logic one is, if you have Google Home, a Chromecast, like we spoke of earlier, or some type of device that is selecting sources, shouldn't it be that you're watching TV, the doorbell rings, you instantly see who's at the doorbell on your TV?
And it pauses what you're watching.
And you pause it watching. Isn't that simple logic? None of them do it.
The one actually I was thinking is, as we started talking about this, was say it was smart enough that it replaces the keys over your door. So if you come up to your house with your phone, you can tap it off the pad and it opens your door. If your brother calls to the door and you look at the screen and go, oh, that's my brother, you go, oh, just tap your phone off the door. Vump, the front door opens and lets your brother in.
Patent pending, Simon. That's genius.
Or even to the point on your phone, you have a button that says open door. You press the button and your brother can walk in and close the door behind him, or your sister. Sorry, we're not.
I know Amazon were working on some type of delivery systems where you could open the door. I'll have to check up the name of it, but put in our show notes, listeners. Google.
Is that the one where you can open the door, say someone's delivering a package and you're not home?
Yes.
It can open the door, let them push it in, and then
close it after. Yes.
Is that after they go rooting through all your house?
Apparently, you can lock it away in some rooms, or keep it locked to just the front hall and stuff like that. That's what people do. Yes, at the door. At least you know who's at the door.
Or you can go, I think we should be able to take it a step forward and go, Google Home, open the door and let them in, please.
Yeah. But if you are using visuals and a camera, why isn't this showing the source
to your TV?
To your TV.
And I think it would probably work if you had an Android box.
I've seen one called Home Secure, which has an alarm monitoring system similar to Aircom's Phone Watch. They're offering for $99 at the moment, and apparently it's been very popular. And I want to talk to these people and find out. But they do all their windows and everything. But those are the two questions that worry me. What happens if it's susceptible to hacking? And B, what if the power goes down?
Because if you have a traditional alarm system in your home, it usually has a battery in somewhere underneath your stairs or somewhere like that. So if the power goes, it has a certain amount of life. before it dies, which is usually a good decent amount of time.
So does it just go back to the old-fashioned traditional alarm system that, okay, your Wi-Fi has gone down, but we can still send out a bell if your Wi-Fi goes down?
Yeah, I wonder.
What do you think, listeners? What would you improve on these devices? Let us know. You can
Internet of Things stuff, isn't it?
More
Like,
Internet of Things stuff.
So what else have we? Just so listeners might come up with ideas for us. Have we talked about fridges, or cookers, or washing machines? All these things that connect to the internet.
Yeah, well, we've seen some of the Samsung fridges, and it can. Do you know what I've seen recently? HP are doing printers now that you can sign up to subscription that it can automatically detect when you're out of ink and order new ink.
That's cool.
Cool but scary if it recognizes that there's a lot of people that don't know how to put an ink cartridge into a printer correctly.
Now,
Do you want to end up with like 5 gallons of cartridge ink because
it thought it was empty?
It thought it was empty.
And
that's going to happen. I'm sure that's going to happen.
I thought when you had mentioned the HP one, I was actually thinking, imagine you're on your phone on your way home and you're going, I wouldn't mind printing that off. You could hit print on your phone no matter where you are.
And cloud-based.
And it prints on the printer at home. So when you get home, it's there on the printer.
I'm sure that is in existence.
Sounds really cool.
It sounds cool. I'm sure there is something out there that does that. I have to Google that up for our next show. So Apple have the iOS 12 in beta mode, right?
Which is an augmented.
Listeners, I have my friendly IKEA 50-cent measuring tape that always good to have around AV installs and designs. The measuring tape, 50 cent on Apple. Right, Simon is measuring his notepad with the AV Tweeps sticker on the back of it.
It says 19 centimeters.
19 centimeters for our notepad here. I have the IKEA measuring tape, and it is 21 centimeters.
So it's not 100%.
It's not 100%, but I do like these ideas of having.
I think it's a good quick. If you were, say, on site doing a quick site survey, and you needed to work out the distance from your projector screen to whatever the front row of seats or something like that, does it matter if it's a centimetre or 2 out? Not really. For an estimate. Yes,
let's ask Chuck Espinosa what he thinks of that as he does his Lego designs of for Vixa. Is a centimetre here or there okay?
Now, I would say for initial, of course, if you're going to do proper install designs, you measure it accurately.
But it comes back to laser measurements.
That's what I was wondering.
Over the old tape.
Now, the other side is if you have a ceiling that you need a massive ladder or a scaffolding to get to, I think
health and safety, you're not going to be going. As a demonstration.
I think where a laser measures are fairly accurate. I think I've seen loads of even people who are doing site specs for live hire.
Right.
So they're going out measuring things like how high the ceiling is, can I hang a truss from there? What's the distance between the front wall and the back wall, so they can go, can we do rear projection, front projection, all that kind of stuff. So they're using it in everyday life, the laser ones.
Yes.
So they must trust it enough. So this, I guess, is an app that's in development, or it's probably in its first time being released. So it's probably going to get better.
It is going to get better. I had one on my phone, and yeah, it's nice. I'll tell you the name of it. It's the free version. It's called Magic Plan. This draws out floor plans. You can have rooms and whatever. So same idea as what you were doing with the iOS app. Though I found that at times if you didn't hit the button correctly, I was ending up with triangular rooms instead of square or rectangular rooms. And again, when you took the measuring tape to it, give or take a couple of centimeters out, it does up a plan, you can add in objects, but to actually print it out on PDF or anything bigger, I needed to get the premium plan, which is a monthly subscription. Magic Plan is that one.
Because I've seen one, and I've used it on the iOS one, is where you go up and you actually put the phone on each wall in the room, and it builds an image of the room. Or you can get it where it uses the augmented, where you point it in each corner. Or
that one uses the in each corner. Yes.
Yeah, and then so it gives, you can map out your floor, and then the last setting is your height. But imagine if you're a place where the ceiling changes height multiple times. It must be very hard for it to map out a height of a room if you're trying to get kind of square volume.
Yes, yeah.
Versus just a flat TV.
Laser pointers, measuring tapes, and apps. That's what we want to hear from our listeners. Want to hear about feedback about Android, Apple, or Amazon if you're doing streaming. The 3 A's of TV. Home security. Do you like the smart devices? We'll try and get and Internet of Things to monitor your home. Let us know about that. All Things TechIE, that's where you can find all our show notes each month. We also have recorded this program to see our faces, and just so the Australians can see us, and we have the Irish flag up there. We really love you guys over there putting us in the iTunes chart. From myself, Justin, if you want to get in contact with me, it's at Justin or Dawson. Simon
at Simon Lang AV.
And for this month, thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to have some how-to documents of how to recover a Word document. That's going to be on our show notes as well. We didn't get around to that, but very simple of how to recover Word documents. Because I nearly lost all our show notes and then figured out how to recover it after I pressed the...
So they must have shared the love and shared the knowledge.
Share the knowledge, Simon.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're going back to do some more project work for your company and
keep me out of trouble for another few days.
Yeah, yes, yeah, and also try and see your wife and child in between time. For myself, Justin, and Simon, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
All Things Techie Podcast, brought to you by two tech junkies, Justin Dawson and Simon Lang. For more, visit www.allthingstech.ie for All Things Techie.